Okay, folks. Oh, God, it's time for Formspring again already. Time sure does fly. This week it looks like I got 100 questions. Exactly. Plus one extra question over on YouTube. Yeah, if you guys, for some reason, are unable to ask me the question on Formspring because it's too long or Formspring rejects the question for some reason, yeah, just fire it over to me on YouTube. Yeah, so I guess I'm going to start with the YouTube question this week. It's from YouTube user The Tattooed Yoshi, who asks, I thought of an FPS involving you, the MP Spam Crew, Durgan, Storm, Nether Tribes, Tlar, Cold, and of course Kana Sky. Each character has their own unique ability. For instance, if Tatsu's health gets yellow or red, he will call Korn and Spazzy, and they all turn into characters they played in Castle Crashers spam play, and beat the shit out of multiple opponents. Durgan would turn into a miniature dragon and breathe fire on enemies, and Nether Tribes would pull out a abnormally large ballot labeled "Fuck you." You like? That does sound like a really good idea. I think that pretty much everyone fantasizes about, like, starring in a video game, or especially starring in a video game with their friends, and, you know, that is the kind of thing I think about sometimes, and, yeah, this does sound like it could be a pretty cool way to do it. Cool. Well, thank you for the question, and for now I've got to be thinking about stuff. Over to Formspring, we'll start with the oldest and go up to the newest. Looking at it really quickly, oh dear, it looks like about half of them are all by the same person. Well, we'll see what happens. The Fifth Snow asks, you see Seth Rogen and Megan Fox walk out of a room. When you look in said room, there's only one chair. Do you sniff the seat? What? I think, first of all, it depends what room they walked out of. And second of all, it depends on how sober I am. And third of all, it depends on if the chair is upside down or not. The Fifth Snow asks, do my questions bring joy and laughter into your life? Well, from my reaction to that last question, I think it's pretty obvious that they do. Crazy Cat Attendant asks, Doc, what would you do if you got attacked by not one, but 618 soft croakies? Oh, good lord, I would probably die. Eggman67 asks, will you watch Captain America's sequel, Captain Iraq? Yeah, sure, when it comes to network TV. Tattooed Yoshi asks, Tatsu, Cold, Tlar, and Harvey, Birdman, Nether Tribes, and Sky. You have to throw one off a cliff, do a co-op LP with another, punch two in the face, throw one in a pool, and make one rob a bank for you. Who does what? Oh dear, Well, the only one that would throw off a cliff would be Harvey Birdman, because everyone else would die if I did that, whereas Harvey Birdman could just fly away. Throw one in a pool. Wait a minute, how many things are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, just enough. I would probably throw Sky in the pool because of all the people you mentioned. She's the only one who I know knows how to swim. Okay, punch two in the face. Oh dear God, Fuck. I don't like this question. I'm not going to answer it. Will you make a fart noise? Asks Drewski. Drewski then asks, who is your favorite pony? My favorite pony is Fluttershy. And Drewski asks, you own a 3DS? No, I don't, actually. And Drewski then asks, doop-de-doop-doop, why do you say gross stuff? Dear, do I say gross stuff? Yeah, I guess I do. It's just part of who I am, part of my sense of humor, etc. Oh boy, I've got a lot ways to go here. Kovu88 asks, do you have a favorite time era? Mine's the 70s. I liked it because I played Driver Parallel Lines. I would have loved to go there and see the culture. Oh, mine is actually the 80s. I was born in 1980, so I got to experience the 80s, but unfortunately, I got to experience it as a very young child. And I personally would love to have been able to experience the 80s as an adult. Oh boy, oh dear. The next 25 or so questions in a row are all from my friend Adam. They're all by Adam until I say otherwise. Do you enjoy olives? Yes, I do. I love Green olives, kind of dislike black olives. Hang on a sec, I think I might sneeze soon. When you had that incident with the cowbell or the bees, do you remember how many times you got stung? I only got stung once, because it was only one bee. If somebody decided to ask for permission to make and sell Duff beer, would you buy it? They already make Duff beer, kinda, sort of. Boston Beverage Company makes an energy drink called Duff beer. I don't know if that counts. But otherwise, yeah, I'd try it. What the hell? How often do you drink energy drinks? Weekdays, like when I'm working? At least once a day. I always have at least one in the morning. I usually will also have one with lunch. And if I'm feeling like sleepy around 3 o'clock, I'll have one then. And on my way home from work, if I'm feeling tuckered out, I'll have another one then. Have you ever had an experience with drinking sour milk? I am very sensitive to milk going bad. To the point, I think I get that from my father. He's the same way. So I've never actually drank sour milk because before I have milk, I'll always instinctually smell it without even knowing, and I won't have any milk that's even slightly gone bad. Who's more annoying, Navi, Friday, or Sprite? Well, I don't think Friday's annoying at all. I think she's kind of funny. Navi just keeps saying, hey, listen, hey, listen, hey, listen. And Sprite, I assume you mean Sprite from the Legend of Zelda cartoon. She was annoying, but pretty much every character on that show was annoying. I think it was kind of the point. So I'm going to have to say Navi. Did you say you had the PAL version of Landstock or the NTSC version? I'm too lazy to go back and look. My cartridge is the NTSC version, and my ROM is the PAL version. Go figure. I might be coming to Boston soon. Did you want me to send a PM if I'm still going? Absolutely. Did you feel relieved that I helped you out those times I did? Sure, why not? Do you ever check your PMs, man? Like, seriously. If you're talking about my YouTube PMs, I get approximately 20 a day. So I don't always even read them, let alone respond to them. Sorry. Did you turn that fan on after your LP of Crossover? Yes, I did. The fan's on right now, and frankly, I don't care if it screws with the sound of my recordings. I'm hot. Why don't you have fun with MP spam anymore? I don't know what you mean by that. Am I a silly Canuck? Yes, you are. Would you rather live anywhere else but Boston? San Jose. Otherwise, Boston will do. But yeah, otherwise, San Jose. Did you know it's not just a coincidence that there were only 13 episodes of the old Zelda cartoon and they only aired on Friday? Well, 13 episodes. No, I don't really know what you mean. Yeah, okay. Oh, jeez, how many did you ask? Following up to that, you said you loved watching the old SMB Super Show with Louie and Danny. Did you like the live-action segments more or the actual corny animation? I liked the live-action segments better because, I mean, yeah, the cartoon was corny, but the live-action segments were campy. And I love camp. Huge camp. Did you have the Genesis mouse? I remember in your first video, Scooby-Doo, you mentioned Art Alive, but I remember a game called Wacky Worlds that I had with that peripheral. I never had the Genesis mouse, I just know it existed. Did you think Art Alive was Sega's answer to Mario Paint? Actually I don't, because I think Art Alive came first, and Art Alive is significantly more primitive than Mario Paint. Significantly. Do you have any old PS2 or serial mouse lying around, or anything that is old technology from when we were kids, even an old computer with only DOS? Oh, my basement in many ways is a museum of old computers. I have a computer down there that doesn't even have a hard drive, that, can't have a hard drive. It has just two 5.25 inch floppy drives. I forget if it's 5.5 and 3.5. 5.25 inch. Yeah, there we go. That's how I remember. And it's not even a PC. It's a Morrow MD80, and it runs an operating system called CPM. It was my first computer. I did a lot of my first programming on that. Did you ever play DOS growing up, or was it mainly console gaming for you? Well, for games growing up, it was mostly consoles, because any computers that I had when I was a child tended to be kind of behind the curve. I mean, I didn't get my first, actual PC until I was almost out of middle school, and even then, it was several generations behind the times. It was an 8088 in the days when 486 computers were popular. Yeah. Which Windows OS was the most frustrating for you to use? Frankly, I don't find any Windows OS frustrating to use, and I think anyone who says that they find the Windows OS is frustrating to use is either completely retarded at computers or is just jumping on the LOL Microsoft sucks bandwagon. I mean, please, people, grow up. Does you like waffles and Mudkips? I love waffles, and Mudkip is okay. It's not one of my favorite Pokemon. I think the Mudkip meme is kind of retarded, though. Okay, an anonymous user asks, do you have a foot fetish? No, I do not. A bunch of questions in a row by someone named Kakamira. Their icon looks familiar, but I don't recognize that name. What, if any, names did you go by before Doc Sigma? Well, I've gone by the name Doc Sigma for about 15 years now. The name kind of evolved. Before Doc Sigma, it was actually Lord Sigma. I used that name on AOL chat. I also went by the name Sigma V. Some other names that I've gone by in the past are Beridine, Tobaderu, some that I can't remember. I think I may have briefly used Darth Sigma. Yeah, that's about it. Kakamira asks, does Moonman really know how to play the piano, or does he just push random keys? If he does he have his own albums, and where can I find said albums? Yes, Moonman really does know how to play the piano, and that's kind of how he got into the whole McDonald's thing and how he became racist. You see, Moonman's real name is Malcolm Knight, and his real name was Malcolm Knight. His middle initial was T, so from that he got Mac T Knight, or Mac to Knight. And he was discovered by a McDonald's rep when he was playing the piano in a bar, and that's how it got there. Yeah, he really plays the piano. He doesn't have any albums out. I mean, he doesn't write his own music. He's basically just like, a lounge pianist. Yeah. What's the story behind the blue... Oh, the rest are all from Kakamira until I say otherwise. There we go. What's the story behind the blue sunglasses? Apart from looking cool, is there any other reason you wear them? You may have heard a little growl in there. That's because they're not sunglasses. They're prescription glasses. And they're not prescription sunglasses either. They're real glasses, with a 50% blue tint. Whereas sunglasses tend to have an 80% tint. These are only 50%. I've worn them for... Oh dear. God, probably about 13, 14 years. In all honesty, the main reason is just because I like the way they look, but there are other reasons as well. Like, they tend to make lights softer, which allows me to look at computer screens without having as much glare or eye strain. And no matter how cloudy it is, the sky's always blue to me. Oh man, I feel like I have to burp. Yes. Oh dear. Why is Wacky Dave so wacky? I'll tell you why Wacky Dave is so wacky. If Wacky Dave wasn't so wacky, he wouldn't be Wacky Dave, he'd just be Dave, and that would be a shame. What exactly do you do at work? I imagine you typing code and looking at lollies all day. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, you pretty much got it right on the head. Okay, that's not a question. I just wanted to see if you would scream that out loud on your next Formspring video. You got me. Sorvar Spar asks, a URL followed by too soon? Well, I can't really do URLs, but just from looking at the URL, I know what it is. It's a picture of Ozzy Osbourne, and it says, still alive, you jelly, Amy? Or something like that. It's a reference to the fact that Amy Winehouse did a little bit of drugs and died at 27, whereas Ozzy Osbourne has done all sorts of drugs, and he's older than my parents. And I don't think it's too soon at all. I think that picture is perfect. Toradoshi12 asks, I have 2 questions. What the hell is coning, and why does it sound so retarded? Well, coning is where you take one of those orange traffic cones and shove it up your ass. The reason it sounds retarded is because it's responsible for 97% of retardation in this country. Okay, the next 3 questions are from the Nards of Doom. Hey Doc, what would you do if you, Cold Tatsu, behold my strength, and Nether are trapped in a room for a year, and with enough food for a year, and the only thing to do was play the SNES with 2 games, Goof Troop and Batman Forever. P.S. There is no cable or internet. Well, I'll tell you what I would do. I would do a hell of a lot of sleeping. Hey Doc, you and I get stranded on an island inhabited with an army's worth of lollies, and we were the only 2 guys on the island and had to work together to survive. What should we do? Well, I think the first thing we're going to have to do is get around to repopulating the... Oh, no, we're not... Oh, it's not an apocalypse thing. We're just stranded on an island. Well, the first thing we should do is get the lollies to work for us. You know, we get them... have like a few lollies who just do nothing but gather us food, have some who build shelter for us. You know, I think we do okay. Hey Doc, the evil anti-Doc appeared. What do you do? Now. I know that's gotta be a fake. Because you see, I am evil, so the anti-Doc would be good. So this person is a fake. So we go out and have a beer. Okay. Pacifist asks, what happened to you and Cubic? Guy who made hacks with you, and what happened to his videos and his channel? I have no idea. I haven't talked to him in a while. His name is Binary, by the way, and his channel name was Cube Root in Binary. I actually didn't really do any of his hacks, did I? I mean, because his hacks are way too hard for my taste. Oh well. The Nards of Doom asks, hey Doc, if you could have one superpower and one dirty superpower, wink wink LOL, what would they be? Well, I kind of like the ability to stop time. I've always seen that as my superpower. And my dirty superpower, the ability to stop time in a dirty way. Yeah, I'm sorry, I got nothing. Okay, the next several questions in a row are all by Pacifist. Have you ever seen a UFO? If not, what is the weirdest thing you've seen or witnessed in your life? And what is the second weirdest thing you've seen or happened to you? I don't think I've seen a UFO. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I haven't. I can't think of anything weird that's happened to me either. Maybe someone else will think of something weird that's happened to me, because I got nothing. Do you believe in the existence of extraterrestrials? Absolutely sure. This universe is a really huge place. The chance of there not being extraterrestrials is really slim. Have you ever played, and which I don't think you have, seen or played Team Fortress 2? If not, any chance you would ever try it? Yes, I own Team Fortress 2. Doesn't really seem like the kind of game that would interest me. Although, after a recent update, I looked at the title screen, and it seems like there's some new game modes that are kind of almost on the silly side, like pushing a rock around while the other team tries to make you not succeed in pushing the rock around. I might actually look into those silly modes instead of the serious ones, because I'm a very not serious gamer. Yeah. So I might look into that. Not to be personal, actually this is kind of fun. What is your favorite kind of woman? My favorite kind of woman is one who is alive and intelligent and has a good sense of humor. Final question, and if you answer this, you will get an oatmeal cookie. Oh boy, I love oatmeal cookies. Have you seen the new Modern Warfare 3? And if so, what do you think about Modern Warfare games as a whole and their effect on today's gamer? I have not seen Modern Warfare 3. I'm just not a fan of... First of all, at the very root of it is just that I'm not a fan of FPSs in general. And second of all, I'm not a fan of all these war games that are around nowadays. I mean, war sucks. War fucking sucks. Why do people want to simulate it, you know? And it just seems like all these, you know, these brown and gray games where you run around shooting people. Whatever. Not my kind of game. Maybe someone else's kind of game. Tattooed Yoshi asks, which Pokemon is your favorite? Magnezone. An anonymous user asks, you wake up one morning and answer the door to see Simon Belmont singing the song you posted in the intro video #1 in the Super Mario Bros. Crossover LP. How would you react? I'd say, dude, why are you doing it at my house when you should be, like, killing Dracula or something? Also, why is your skirt so short? Also, why are you wearing a skirt? Also, why is there a dildo in your hair? The Fifth Snow asks, if a man speaks in the middle of a forest and there's no woman around to hear him, is he still wrong? Well, I don't know if he's still wrong or not, but I'd say he is, because that's really the only situation that's possible. Because, you know, the middle of a forest is not a kitchen, so when would a woman ever be there? Hey-oh! Drusky asks, you find yourself in a room, the only door is locked, Moon Man is in the room with you, and has the only key. Is there any way that this will end well for you? Actually, I think there is. I think that I could possibly befriend Moon Man by just, like, chatting him up and talking about, you know, how we both hate minorities and stuff. I mean, I don't hate minorities, but you know, he does, and I think that I could fake it pretty well. And if not, then I would just offer him my anus, and this is really not going to go very well, is it? Drusky asks, what's your least favorite word that you can say on YouTube? You're probably thinking I'm going to say something like nigger or faggot or kike or something, but I'm going to say viewers. I hate it when on a video, the person in the video refers to the people who watch it as viewers. I know that's a silly thing to say. It just referring to your fans as viewers just seems to really belittle them. I don't know. That's why I always call everyone folks. Oh, man. Wait, not even halfway through. Maybe. It's hard to tell from the scroll bar. Forged Note 32 asks, we didn't start the fire, but it has been burning since the world's been turning. Oh, I love that song. I can't think of the words to it right now, but yeah, we didn't start the fire. Pokemon, Marilyn Monroe, etc. An anonymous user asks, is there someone you would just love to slap once for whatever reason whatsoever? Yes, there is, but I'm not going to say it here. If you're watching this video or listening to this, chances I would say it's pretty much guaranteed that you have no idea who the hell this person is. But just in case, I'm not going to mention him. Yoko asks, what is your most embarrassing moment? Tell me and I will tell you mine. No thanks. You can keep that offer. Alright. An anonymous user asks, hey Doc, how are you doing? I wanted to know what was your inspiration to become a YouTuber. Your videos are really funny, and I see that you put a decent amount of effort into them. Can't wait to see more of your videos and LPs. Cheers. Oh dear, you're making me blush. Well, it all started when I first created a YouTube account. It was simply so I could maintain a list of my favorite videos. Then, the first video I ever uploaded was just a 1 second long silent clip of the haha guy. The reason doing that was so that my quote-unquote channel would have an icon. Back then you couldn't choose a picture icon. You could only choose an icon from one of your videos. My first real video was I took this thing called Dirty Potter and created a video out of it. The actual video was just a 2-frame gif of Harry opening and closing his mouth. That video got so popular, it got hundreds of thousands of hits, and that was actually how Opie and Anthony discovered Dirty Potter, and I like to think that I'm kind of the reason that, you know, they became famous, just because I put the thing online and people discovered it. But then they made their own channel, so I decided to delete Dirty Potter from my channel, and, you know, the rest is history now. Dirty Potter is really popular, as they should be, because Dirty Potter kicks fucking ass. Go listen to them if you haven't. www.dirtypotter.com, or on YouTube. Their channel name is Dirty Potter Tube. Good stuff. My first LP, though, I'm not going to go into how I discovered LPs. That's really another story, or another question, or whatever. But basically, Cold had this challenge. He said he challenged people, LPers or not, to do a video of themselves attempting the Super Mario World NES edition. So I figured, what the hell, sounds like fun. And I did it. I mean, I didn't beat the game, not even close, but I was able to play it long enough that it actually made 2 videos worth. And back then, that was back when the limit was 10 minutes. So yeah, that was pretty cool. But I enjoyed it so much that I decided to do a full LP of Super Mario World NES Edition, and the rest, as they say, is history. Ta-da! Alright. Ms. Fuzzbottom asks, okay, here's a question that you'll have a much easier time understanding. Out of all the lesser-known Let's Players that you're watching, who do you think most deserves more attention than they're getting? I'm going to throw one name out there. Magma WK. MAGMAWK. When I first started LPing, he had more subscribers than me, but now that I'm a little bit over 2,000, he's still hovering around the 1,000 mark, I believe, which is kind of sad, in my opinion, because I think he's really awesome. And his most popular series is so popular that you would think he'd have more subscribers. He does a Red Mage solo challenge of Final Fantasy 1, but he puts a lot of effort into it, a lot of editing, and a lot of really... He has a lot of fun with it, and it's just a laugh. I mean, I know that they say you should, never LP a traditional RPG, but, he cuts out all the random encounters, and he just has a ball with it. He has a lot of fun. Okay, whoa, boy, 1, 2, 3, 4. The next 4 questions are by Kovu88. A moment from your past has come back to haunt you. Can be good or bad. If it was bad, what would you do? If it was good, would you relive the moment? Oh, dear. I'm going to say the moment is the evening when I smoked my first cigarette. I actually remember the evening. I remember everything about it. And I'd like to think that that I would change things and just simply not smoke that cigarette. I think things have been a lot different. Oh well. How did you meet Tatsudoshi? And will you be appearing in any of Tatsudoshi's reviews anytime in the near future? We met through YouTube. Yeah. Basically, we met through YouTube. I liked his videos, we started chatting. I guess I met him through Cold. I don't know. God, I really don't remember. It's been so long. I'll definitely be appearing in his videos again, don't you worry. In fact, there's a very special video of mine that he hasn't uploaded yet. Get on that, Tatsu. Everyone has a favorite wild animal, but not one they would get close to. Most of them. My favorite wild animal is a tiger. What is your favorite wild animal and why? My favorite wild animal is one I wouldn't mind getting close to at all. Mine would be the friggin' giant tortoise. Because I love turtles and tortoises. I just think they're adorable and I want to snuggle with them. If you were the creator of a major corporation, what corporation would it be, and would you predict that your company would make it through the recession? My company would manufacture DVD rewinders. And considering how stupid people are, I think that people would buy them all the time. Madad Ruda asks, if there were 5 pies you could choose from, cherry, apple, lemon meringue, blueberry, and peach, which would you choose and why? Right now, I would choose blueberry, because right now, in addition to being a little bit hungry, I'm also a bit thirsty. And of those 5 choices, blueberry seems like it would be the most thirst-quenching to me. Delicious. Oh, hey, Adam's back! Okay, you know what? All the rest of the questions are by Adam except for the very last one. So I'm going to skip to that last one and answer it now. Kakamira asks, are you optimistic or pessimistic? Is the penis half hard or half soft? In that case, I'd be pessimistic because it's half. Well, it's half as hard as it needs to be. There you go. Now we're gonna start reading up. Oh Lord, there's a lot of questions, Adam. Hi Doc, watching the old Pokemon's cartoon, I wondered this and maybe you can shed some light on it. Why didn't Brock fawn over Jessie or Cassidy when he obviously loves all women in Pokemon and that's the running gag? That's a good question. All I can think is maybe they're drag queens. Do you know the cheat in Kickle Cubicle to get to the end boss? No, I do not. I might have to use that at some point. I might have to look it up. You approach Jambi the genie's humble abode. Do you greet him with, "Hey, Jambi"? I think I'd like to think that I greet him with, "Hey, Jambi." Yeah, sure, why not? Have you eaten KFC? If so, do you know the Louisiana style of chicken and seafood known as Popeyes? Yes, I've had KFC. I'm familiar with Popeyes. I've never actually been to Popeyes. I've been by Popeyes many times. I've never actually been there. How often do you frequent McDonald's, if ever? Twice a week, maybe. Soleil or Landstalker, which has the better gameplay? I would say Landstalker would win that hands down if it had shadows. But since it doesn't have shadows, I'm going to have to give a slight edge to Soleil. When did the Pokemon season start to get annoying? I don't know. I'm not watching the current Pokemon season. Would your facial hair be considered a Van Damme? Yes, I think that a mustache plus a goatee where they're connected to each other is considered a Van Damme. Console or emulators? Console if at all possible. If not possible, then emulators. Minicam or Hypercam? Minicam sucks for capturing the desktop. It only gets 1 frame per second, so Hypercam. Can you laugh like an obnoxious Frenchman? Oh, there you go. Do you look for glitches when you're bored playing a game? Oh, absolutely. I used to have so much fun looking for glitches, especially in Metroid. I used to have so much fun when I was little, finding all the weird secret shit that you could get to. Like the hidden rooms, like the buggy rooms, by bombing your way through ceilings and doors and stuff. In fact, I think at one point I started to make a map of it all. I'd give anything to get that notebook back. Raccoon tail or cape? I'd say raccoon tail because even though the flying style of the cape is a lot of fun, it just, most of the time, it seems like capes just break levels. Hey Doc, just for me, will you LP a Super Mario World hack that looks like Super Mario Brother, blah blah? Sure, send me a PM. Why do you loop the video when you mess up the editing? I'm sorry, I don't know what you mean by that. Have you found any other hidden music, like the beginning to Viva La Vida sounding like the Starman, or was that just a I am bored moment? Well, it was really just a random moment on the bus, but I have found some other things like that. I'm thinking of making a video of them. In particular, I found something from one of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles games. When is the cutoff for these questions, or you just answer them Sunday? I just answer them Sunday. There's no cutoff. Did you know there was at least 5 banned episodes of Pokemon that were not dubbed in English due to racial slurs, weapons, subject matter, risk of epileptic seizures, and stuff of that nature? Oh, shit. That's late. Yeah, I knew that. Yep. There was the one where the game warden pulled a gun on Jesse and James. There were the ones where Jinx supposedly looked like a black caricature, although she actually looked more like Gankuro. There, of course, was the epic soldier Porygon, which was only shown once in Japan and never shown again anywhere else, because it caused about 700 people to have seizures. There was an episode called Tower of Terror, which was banned after 9/11, literally just because of its name, but then they eventually unbanned it. And I think they temporarily, after 9/11, banned an episode where Tentacruel smashes a skyscraper. Yeah, stuff like that. What is it with you pretending Evil Dead is a game when it's a hack of Zelda 2? We both know this, but I still get a hoot from me pretending it's real. Sir, I don't know what you are talking about. The game I am playing is Evil Dead and nothing else. Yes, indeed. Ace Attorney or Harvey Birdman? I'd have to say Ace Attorney, although I do enjoy Harvey Birdman. Have you seen Tatsu's videos of the Harvey Birdman game? Oh, yes, I've been thoroughly enjoying them. It basically seems like a much easier version of Ace Attorney, with less reading and more watching and more... Nope. If you were sodomized by anyone, who would you want to be sodomized by? Somebody with a tiny penis. Is that a good answer? Are you aware that Zelda and Mario have jumbled storylines and they are not linear to the game releases? Yep, I'm aware of that. There's a huge debate over if Zelda even has a linear storyline or if every game takes place somewhere else. Majora's Mask 3DS. With the success of Ocarina of Time 3DS, does that sound like a possibility? Okay, more like a guarantee. I mean, who are we kidding? Would you ever sell any of your retro stuff for money? No. Never. I would donate it for free before I'd sell it for money. What is your favorite 8-bit/16-bit theme from the following NES/SNES franchises? 1. Mario, 2. Zelda, 3. Mega Man, and finally 4. Name any other favorites here. Well, I'm actually planning on making a video of just my top 10 favorite video game songs. What the hell, I'll answer this. My favorite Mario song. Currently, my favorite Mario song is the ending credits to Super Mario 2. It's just really emotional and really fits the mood well. My favorite Zelda song is actually from Link's Awakening. It is the overworld music, but not the regular overworld music. It's the overworld music from when Link hasn't gotten his sword back yet. It's, you know, bum 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 bum, etc. Okay, my favorite Mega Man music, Dr. Cossack's Castle, the second of the two themes, you know, boom, ba-da-ba-da-bum, bum bum bum. Yeah, okay. And name any other favorites here. My favorite video game song of all time. Well, my second favorite. Okay, my second favorite. Okay, my second favorite video game song of all time is Godot's theme, The Fragrance of Dark Coffee from the third Phoenix Wright game. But now my favorite video game song of all time is the music from the Chrome Gadget Zone from Sonic 3. I don't remember a Chrome Gadget Zone. We'll go look it up. It has some of the best 16-bit music ever. It really disgusts me that that music wasn't used in a full zone. Whatevs. Pepsi or Coke? Okay, Coke if it's regular, Pepsi if it's diet. Sake and ramen or spaghetti and beer? I'm gonna do a little flip-flop on you and say ramen and beer. There we go. Haha. You said you were a mixture of a few different cultures, one being Italian. What stereotypical food of said cultures do you not like? Okay, sure. Italian. I detest eggplant, and I hate olives other than green ones. There we go. Bon Scott or Brian Johnson? Jimmy Page or Angus Young? Oh god, Bon Scott and Angus Young. Lost Boys or Goonies? Which is the most nostalgic 80s movie for you? Well, neither one really brings back, like, super nostalgic feelings for me, but I really, to be honest, did not care for the Lost Boys, so I'm gonna have to give it to Goonies. Have you been to World -1 in Super Mario Bros.? Do you recall the occasion? Yeah, I've been there, but I never got there accidentally. I already knew that World -1 existed, and I knew how to get there, and I was specifically trying to get there. So there was nothing special about it, nothing nostalgic or nothing shocking. It wasn't like, oh my god moment. In fact, I don't even remember it. Gaston or Jafar? Who's the best villain? Ooh, of those two? Oh god, I'd say Jafar. Gaston's not even really a villain, he's just an ass. Oh, and that's it. That's the end. Beautiful. Haha, I got through 100 questions plus one. Oh, yes, so that does it for this week. As always, I love your questions. Send them to www.formspring.me/DocSigma. I'll try to remember to put a link in the video. And I'll see you next week. Thank you, folks. Cheers!